What's up, guys? Get up close over here. Momentum Productions. Josh here, and we're gonna be talking about some cool camera gear stuff. So we're gonna wait for some people to tune in here. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a demo. My hair's all crazy because of the wind, but we're gonna wait for some people to tune in, and then we're gonna start demoing some of this equipment that I have in front of me. So maybe if you're looking to buy some new gear, hopefully this video will help you out and show you exactly what you might need. So I'll tell you exactly what I have right here. So I have an automated slider, which we're gonna assemble right now. And with the automated slider, we're gonna attach the King TV Argo. I'm gonna show you that cool feature where you don't need the handlebars. You can actually just attach the King TV Argo raw onto the slider. So that way you can have a pan and tilt head that can be wirelessly controlled, right? So that's gonna be pretty cool. So I have another case, big case right here in front of me. Let's go ahead and flip the camera around. This button here. We have this case. It actually has a lot of my accessories for my slider. And boom, look at that. So we have quite a bit of stuff in here. We have support rods when we're using a tripod. We have a tilt head here, and we have a pan head here, motorized. Alright, so what I really need right now is the control box, the battery, right? And I think that's all I need. We have the power cable already attached. I think we should be good. And I possibly might need a ball head. So I'm gonna grab this ball head here. Look at the size of this thing. It's one of the biggest ball heads I've seen. It's massive. A ball that's an inch in diameter. It's probably even more, it actually looks like. But that's a crazy cool ball head. This company is called Photon Accessories. They're Polish. So you can check it out here. Photon Accessories, made in Poland. So this is a pretty large slider. I mean, take a look here. It's pretty large. And what we're going to do, we're going to mount the King TV Argo gimbal right here on this carriage right here. And here's the motor. So let's go ahead and hook this whole thing up. Flip the camera around. I'm going to tilt down so you guys see exactly what I'm doing. So we have a control box right here. This is actually splash proof and shock proof. So it's one of the most high quality control boxes I've ever seen for a slider. So we're gonna go ahead and connect this. Alright, so we have our battery right here. This is a Sony battery. And we actually need our another accessory here. Let me try and find it. There it is. We have another ball head here, quick release ball head, and this is going to attach to the legs on the slider. So I'll show you how we're going to do that in just a second. Actually, I've never done it before, so this is going to be a trial and error process for both of us. So let me tilt back up here. So while I'm setting this up, I'm going to try and figure out how to attach the interesting. I'm going to figure out how to do that. So yeah, if you have any questions about this equipment, please don't be shy. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to attach this here. Shouldn't be too difficult. Any questions coming in? Let me see. No questions? Well, ask me questions while I figure this out. Don't be shy. So what I'm doing right now, I'm actually extending these pegs here to level out the slider. That way it gives me a big enough gap to place this mount that I need to be placed. It needs to be placed right here. And then what I'm going to do after that, I'm going to tighten it up so it stays in place. Yeah, almost there, guys. Because we need this. Okay, just about have it. We're okay, don't worry, we're fine. Now I'm extending another peg here to make sure we're leveled. Check it out. Okay. Good. And then this slider is belt driven. So you can see this little belt right here with the teeth. Goes right into there. See that motor? Goes right into there. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and install the control box. All right, here's our control box. We're gonna go ahead and mount it onto this ball head here. Again, I'm checking to make sure that the slider is stable. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock this ball head. Okay. I'm gonna place the control box, mount it onto the quick release plate. All right. Make sure it's nice and tight. Place the control box right here where it belongs. Everything should snap into place. Boom. There we go. Then I'm going to take the power cable from the slider motor and I'm going to hook it up to the control box. Next, what's going to happen, I'm going to take the battery and mount it onto this side of the control box. Honestly, I don't even, because we're so close to the table, this is not the slider's not mounted onto anything. I don't even need this. I just put it on to show you guys. I never used this ball head system before to mount the control box, but I just used it because I never used it before. It's the only reason why. So we had a few questions coming in. How much does the slider cost for the base model? Check out their website, varanus.eu. I think it's somewhere around $400 just for the slider. Alright, next up. What's going to happen next is trying to remember how to work this out here. So, give me 1 second, guys. Until it's back up, you guys help me think. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to mount the Canon TV Argo 3-axis gimbal to this slider. That's our goal right now. So we're going to do that. And right now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. I've done it before, I don't remember how though. I know how. So we're going to take the quick release system off of the ball head. Actually, we have a good question here. How do you know when you're going to use certain gear for videos or shoots? What gives you the idea to use such gear? I'm trying to become more creative with my shoots. Any ideas on better technique? So when you're out for a shoot, let's say you should already have some sort of a general idea how you want the overall video to look like. How do you want it to be shot? What kind of static shots do you want? What kind of dynamic shots do you want? Do you want movement? Do you want it to be still? It all depends on the look and feel that you're going for. Once you have that look and feel that you're going for, you'll know exactly what gear to bring with you. So you really have to think about what you want your video to look like. So that's the best advice I can give you for that. So next I'm going to get my tripod mount for my Caim TV Argo. Here it is. Steve Holt, if you already have a nice slider, is there a motor or system that can be added, or should I just buy one for it? Yeah, there should be a general motor that you can buy for all sliders. There should be. You can take a look at the one I have here. This one has a whole system here. So we have a control module here, then we have a motor for the slider, and then we have 2 more motors to control tilt, and we have another motor here, to control pan. So this is some cool stuff. So our goal right now is to mount the Caim TV Argo gimbal onto the slider. Okay, so let's go ahead and tilt down. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do that. This is a tripod adapter that came with the Caim TV Argo gimbal. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach it to this quick release plate, and this quick release plate is going to slide right in to this area. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Boom. See how I tighten it up? Nice and clean, very easy. And just slide it in, boom, pops right in, and it locks. Gorgeous. And then all we gotta do is just loosen that up. Then we take our Caim TV Argo gimbal. Alright, so I'm going to actually mount the camera on a higher platform so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm going to take Caim TV Argo. Let me tilt up just a little bit. What is a nice camera to shoot 1080p 60 frames per second with? I would think the Sony RX 100 series. Do I recommend the DJI Osmo? It depends. I used to have the DJI Osmo, but I sold it because I never used it. It was just too difficult to use because I needed a mic adapter, and then to carry all that stuff can be a pain at times. So that's the issue I was experiencing. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take our gimbal right now. Caim TV Argo. You don't ever want to be too rough with the system. We're gonna invert it. And we're gonna lock it in to this quick release system until we hear that nice click. Tighten it up. It's nice and tight. Then I'm going to take our battery, load it up with our battery case. I'm going to load it up with some batteries. Here's our remote controller for the Caim TV Argo. Okay. Sorry if I don't see all questions, guys. I'm just kind of trying to set all this stuff up here. Tight. We're going to grab our camera in just a sec. Okay, boom. That looks nice. Looks complicated, doesn't it? It's really not. next up, what do we need? Our quick release system for the Came TV Argo. That's next. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Here it is, quick release system for the Came TV Argo. Mounted in here. So there is no manual that teaches you how to do all this stuff, so you just have to be kind of creative. That's what's awesome about film equipment, is that it's so versatile. At least most of it is. It's very, very versatile. So you'll be able to figure out with the right tools how to mount certain things. So that's kind of cool. Lock it up. I think we're ready to grab the camera. So I'm going to grab my Sony a7R II with the Zeiss lens. Here it is. I'm going to get a better angle for you guys right now. Okay. Here's what we're working with. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that's a nice shot. Actually, I'm going to flip the camera around so I can see your questions. So, here we go. That's what we're working with right now. Here's our a7R II, right? We're going to take the quick release system. We're going to mount it onto our a7R II. Okay. Mount the a7R II onto our gimbal. And then we will balance. Okay. So, if you watched a lot of my glide cam balancing videos, obviously you know what I'm about to say. Camera's pointing down, what are we going to do? We're going to push it back. So let's do that. Push it back until it's nice and level. Keep adjusting until you're happy with it. There we go, then I can lock it up. Boom. That's nice, see? Very well balanced. In any direction I put it in, it's going to stay level. See that? So that's your goal with gimbal like this. Is it a big difference between the Sony a7R2, a7S2? Why do you decide with the R2 over the a7 II? So basically, I went with the a7R2. I have the a7S already, so I figured that, you know what, I might as well go for the a7R2. I wanted a photo camera that's more of a hybrid camera that's good for video and for photo. So I just went with the a7R2 for that reason. But I will be upgrading to the a7S Mark III. I'm going to be selling my Sony a7S, and when the Mark III comes out, I'll definitely be buying that. So here's our Came TV Argo mounted on a slider. We're going to power everything on, make sure everything works, and then I'm going to show you why you would need to use something like this in a set. But look how complicated it looks. Isn't that crazy? It's pretty neat, huh? So let's go ahead and power on the gimbal. Okay, gimbal's powered on. I'm going to use the remote controller here, and I'm going to flip the gimbal around. There we are. Cool. The gimbal is auto-calibrating its horizon, so it kind of looks crooked on the camera, but it's actually it's actually still adjusting. I'm looking at the bubble level. So while it's doing that, let's go ahead and hook up the control module. So I'm I'm going to flip up the camera here. We're going to turn on the computer module. There's a green button somewhere here. So the power button. There we go. And then, yeah, everything should be working. Just change the speed, and boom. See that? Oops. This got in the way. Motorized slider with a Came TV Argo gimbal. How cool is that? It's pretty cool, huh? And then once we program the slider, I will actually, hang on, let me push this camera back, or this case back. That way we have some space. I'm gonna actually lock up this case just in case it falls. I don't want anything to fall out. But look at that. See how cool that looks? Let's check the bubble level. It's basically in the center. It's nice. We can actually always turn on the camera and see how leveled it is. Yeah, we're getting a level here. See, it's green. Cool. What is a nice case for your camera stuff? So these camera cases right here, this is a hard shell case from a company called Plastic Case. This is their line of cases called Nanook. I have a few of them. I have 4 cases actually here. On the table right now I only have 2, but I have 4 total. I have one for my Came TV Argo, one for my slider accessories and some other camera stuff, and then I have one for my DJI Osmo that I sold, but I use it for like cables and stuff, and then I have one for my DJI Phantom 4. And then I also have 3 Think Tank photo cases. These are like soft cases. They're fashionable. You can bring them around with you literally anywhere. This is more for like industrial, like, you know, hardcore stuff, hardcore transport. So let me put you guys up here and tilt down. I wish the lens on the iPhone was wider, but that's all we got for right now. So let's mess with the slider, huh? So I'm gonna make sure that the cables are nice and, you know, organized here. Look how cool this is, guys. And then once we program the computer module, you can actually have it set to a loop back and forth. So during a shoot, all you will really have to worry about is controlling the gimbal. The slider, the rest of it is just going to be sliding back and forth, looping. So you don't have to really worry about much. I wish this company, Varanus, was at NAB. They should have been. They have some cool stuff. Very high quality parts they're using to build these kinds of sliders. But see, this is all controlled through this thumbstick. Isn't that cool? So I want to take this moment now to do some Q&A. Ask me any questions that you may have. If you want to know how any of this stuff works, let me know. I just want to use this moment right now for specific Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Alright. Tilt up. Alright guys, go ahead and ask some of your questions. I'm going to answer them for you. Yeah, how cool is that? Isn't that sick? Oh man. I'll drink to that. So what are some of your questions here? Okay. Hi there, I just joined. So what is the brand for the slider? So here's the brand. I'm gonna flip the camera around. It's called Photon Accessories. It's a Polish company. And this is called the Varanus slider system. And look at that. So this slider, along with the tilt motor, pan motor, and a bunch of other accessories, I think it's around $1,200, something like that, $1,200 to $1,300. But I mean, look, this slider is huge, though. Look how long it is. It's like 4 feet. So it's a pretty long slider. But I wanted a long slider because I want to learn I want to start doing time lapses. That's my weak point as a cinematographer, is that time lapses are pretty difficult. So I got this specifically to make time lapses with, which I will start doing a lot. So the question I just got was, is it $1,200 or $1,300 for the whole set? Yeah, for the whole set. So you get pan motor, slide motor, tilt motor, computer module, support rods. You get a ton of accessories plus a turntable. So you could literally get the whole thing. Oh, I'm sorry. No, $1,300 comes without the slider. The slider, I believe, is another $300 or $400. I think that's what they have 3 different kits. They have the S1, S2, and S3. The S3 is only the pan and tilt motor with the turntable, and then the S2 is the slide motor and the pan motor, I believe. But check out their website, varanus.eu. They're a Polish company, and yeah, that's how they work. But yeah, that's how you mount the King TV Argo gimbal on a slider. And this is good for any slider, not just the Varanus. So you can mount this gimbal on literally anything you want. You see how quiet it is? You can't even hear the gimbal. It's very quiet. So yeah, any more questions, guys? Please feel free to ask. Here's a nice close-up. What are the challenges with time lapse? I would say lighting is a really tough. There is a couple people, professional time lapse cinematographers, who make the sky go in a complete circle. I'm like, how the heck do they do that? I need to learn how they do. I have no idea how they do all that. I'm trying to change the filters here. I'm curious. Yeah, I have no idea how they do that. It's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna put this back here. And it's as if the King TV Argo is made for the slider because the clearance is perfect. I mean, you can see right here, it's so perfect. Clearance is so good. Perfect for the slider. Yeah. So that's the biggest time-lapse challenge I've fallen into. It's the problem with properly getting the lighting down and how to do that really neat effect with what's it called? The globe spinning around. Max Dumour, how can you make money with filming? Kind of a vague question. It's a pretty vague question. I can't really answer that. You can make money filming anything you want. You just have to have a plan of attack, in my opinion. I never thought I would make money doing filming work, but here I am. Ton of equipment, and my biggest problem is, though, with money, though, I spend it on a lot of stuff that I don't need. For example, I bought the Inspire 1. I barely used it for work. I never used it for work, for that matter. I only had it for fun. I spent $3,000 on that, plus batteries and accessories, probably $3,500 total on the Inspire 1. Ended up selling it a year and a half later. You know, I'm a technology geek. I used to own a Canon XF305 TV camera, and it was the worst investment I've ever made in my business. I spent $5,000 on it, and it made me zero money. Boop. So I sold it, I think, for $3,800. So I made most of my money back, but I did lose $1,000 or $2,000 there. So the investments you make have to be very, very well thought out. You have to list the pros and cons of the investment you're making. Actually, there shouldn't be any cons in that investment. All the gear that you buy, you should be using and not letting it sit in the closet collecting dust. And I'm guilty of that. I have a lot of equipment that I just don't use. But I like collecting it. It's a weird obsession I have. I love collecting film equipment. The Came TV Argo, however, I use every single time I shoot. There hasn't been one shoot since I got this Came TV Argo that I haven't used it. It's just a fantastic device. I feel like every filmmaker needs a gimbal. I feel like that's so important, especially with the advancements in technology. There shouldn't be an excuse why you have shaky footage. This thing right now, this is like, I mean, it's a perfect tool to help you get stability in your footage. So keep that in mind. You guys want to see some close-ups? Here, have a look. Here's how I mounted the Came TV Argo with its tripod adapter plate. See that? That's from the Came TV Argo. That's from Varanus. That slid right on perfectly. Boom. Here's a control module that controls all of the sliders' movements. Isn't that cool, guys? It's really windy outside, but I'm tired of shooting inside all the time. I want to get some fresh air every now and then. But yeah, notice how windy it is, and the Came TV Argo stays stable. It doesn't trip out at all. It doesn't do any jittery movements. And I also like the fact that the motors aren't sensitive to touch. And by that I mean, if I hold down the Argo like this, the motors will actually adjust, and then they won't trip out or anything like that. They won't burn out. So, see that? It's just staying like that because I set the new horizon point by hand adjusting it. And then I can just readjust it by pushing it back up and then looking at the bubble level. So right about there is a centered gimbal. Boom. And it just stays that way. So that's the importance of having 32-bit encoders on your camera gimbal, because without these encoders, the motors would not know what to do when they're pressed with force. So if I were to press down on a gimbal that doesn't have encoders, it would actually try and fight my hand, the force of my hand, and it will actually burn out the motor eventually. So with 32-bit encoders, I can hand adjust the roll bar, pan, and tilt. So that's a really nice feature, and I really like that. I really, really like that. And the 32-bit encoders also make the battery life much more efficient. It supplies the right amount of power to each motor and not overpowers the motor. So you're not losing all of that energy. How do I feel about drones? Can you recommend any good ones? I love drones. I have 3 right now. I have the Yuneec Typhoon H, the DJI Mavic Pro, and the DJI Phantom 4. The drone that I use the most would be the Mavic Pro because it's so small, and the footage I get is pretty darn good. So keep that in mind. But yeah. Isn't that cool, guys? I just love technology. And then on the Came TV Argo, we also have a video transmitter on the bottom of the system here. Don't know if you already talked about this, but when you're shooting a music video, how do you shoot a music video, especially when to sync music with all the footage? I need to do a video, I guess, a tutorial video on how to sync audio. There's software called Pluralize from Red Giant that automatically syncs audio, but it's expensive. It's around, I think, $400. But if you're on a budget, you don't have $400 to spend, I can teach you manually how to sync audio to video. So I can do a tutorial on that. But the problem is that each time I put out a video, I need to make sure it gets the right amount of views. I can't have 100 views on one video and then 10,000 views on another video simply because the topic wasn't popular. So I need to make sure that the topic is popular enough that I get views on the videos. So keep that in mind. So if a lot of you want me to do the audio tutorial, how to sync sound with video, let me know. Good night right now. Thanks, man. I appreciate your comment. Man, I watched all your balancing videos for the GlideCam and I still can't get it. It still sways. Please help. Send me a video, 5-minute video of how you balance it. I can't really help you right now because I don't see your GlideCam and what it's doing. But send me a video and I will help you balance it. I'll email you back with the proper techniques on how to do it. So email me, info@capturethemomentum.com. Pretty cool. Like I said, the clearance, check out the clearance between the computer module and the gimbal. It's not even an inch. It's like they designed it perfectly. So, yeah. Isn't that cool? I'm just obsessed with this technology. Blows my mind that it even exists. And the Came TV Argo right now is showing me full battery, I think. Well, 75% probably. No, full battery. 75%. And I've been using this gimbal already on 2 or 3 shoots. And it only went down 1 bar. So it's 15 hours battery life if you balance it properly. Probably even more, actually. Probably gets you more battery life than 15 hours. Very impressive. And you can see here on the bottom, you have a D-tap power out to power a follow focus or to power up your camera. And you also have antenna mount here. So you can broadcast your 480p video transmission. My home is being invaded by crows, guys. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're all over the place. And they're big, too. But yeah, that's it. That's what it is, guys. So, any questions, please let me know. Just wanted to do this live stream showing you how I mount gimbals onto sliders, and it's really neat using this stuff in shoots, because when you automate the slider, when you loop it from going forward and back, all you got to worry about is controlling the pan and tilt with the thumbstick controller using your gimbal. So that's cool. So I have the Ronin MX. Should I buy a monitor? Sometimes I have problems viewing the screen when using the Ronin. So you have the Ronin MX. I never use a monitor. I used to, and it was just too cumbersome and too annoying. You have to learn, honestly, you have to learn how to shoot blind. You really do. You can't always rely on the monitor to get your frame. I know it sounds a little ridiculous for me to say, but there's been a lot of times that even with the monitor, I've been in such like little tight, cramped spaces. There was no way for me to look at the monitor. I had to envision what the camera was seeing. And the best way to do that is to practice mounting different lenses onto your camera and then just studying how wide or how narrow each lens is on the camera and just get really used to seeing what the frame is. Then if you've done that so many times, you can actually already picture what the camera sees without even looking at the monitor. So that's my biggest tip. However, if you don't mind the weight that a monitor will give you, and it's going to get heavy very, very fast, yeah, sure, get the monitor. But I feel like your rig is gonna be too big. The Ronin MX is already a fairly large gimbal. You don't need to add anything else on it. But if you have that ability to tilt your screen on your camera, do it. Definitely do it. But if you have like a Canon camera, like a 5D Mark II that doesn't, or 5D Mark III that doesn't have a tiltable screen, then maybe use a monitor. I wouldn't say it's necessary because I don't use one. I don't need it. And I see a lot of people using their Ronins with a monitor, and it's tough. I see how heavy it gets and how annoyed they get using such a huge rig with all these accessories. So this weekend, I plan on shooting a really neat video comparing a glide cam to a 3-axis gimbal. So I know there's a lot of people who are deciding whether to buy a glide cam, a manual steady cam, or something like that, versus an electronic gimbal like this. A lot of people are deciding, oh, should I invest the thousands of dollars into a gimbal, or $1,200 into a gimbal, or should I invest my money into a $400 or $500 Steadicam? And in that video, when I'm going to be shooting, comparing the footage between running, standing, panning, tilting, and the accuracy of the shots that you get and the ease of use. So, yeah. Do you have an example of your work on YouTube? We'll love to see. So, a few of my clients, Rob Riches, Rebecca Black, some other people, I even forgot their names, but you can check out my website that has a lot of my latest work. Even my client list, people who I've worked with. Check out my website, capturethemomentum.com. You can see all of my work there under the gallery page. Also, sign up to my free newsletter. Each week, I give away a ton of stuff of cinematography tips. I give away a lot of tips. So be sure to check that out. And I also have a blog. I do. Yeah. So that's the Came TV Argo mounted on the Photon Accessories Chameleon slider. Here's the back of the Came TV Argo. It's great, isn't it? It's honestly my favorite thing right now. Gimbals are my new obsession. I like them more than drones, to be honest. I'm obsessed with gimbals. And it's extremely quiet. You can't hear it at all. Yeah. Alright guys, let's leave the last 5 minutes specifically for questions. I'm going to turn off the remote here so it doesn't die. But yeah, ask me some questions, guys. Don't be shy. I like questions. Any question, I'll answer it. Nothing to hide here. I want to make sure that the exposure isn't being weird. I know the iPhones aren't that great with exposure. What is your favorite camera to use with the gimbal? The Sony a7R II. That's my favorite camera. When you say gimbals, is that anything that holds the camera? No, the gimbal is this contraption here that stabilizes the camera. It's an electronic gimbal. Basically what it does is it keeps the camera level all the time and it eliminates any vibration that you get from walking. You see that? I push this down and it automatically adjusts. So that's what a gimbal does. Here's another view of the gimbal. Let me flip the camera around. There you go. How are you focusing when you are shooting? So when I'm on the A7 II, I leave it on autofocus because it has so many autofocus points, it never messes up on focus. However, when I'm on the Sony A7S, I do have some issues with focus. So a lot of the times I'll just keep it at manual focus, setting at infinite, and drop the aperture down to a lower number to keep more objects in focus. And I have a video specifically on this. Check it out on my YouTube channel, how to use a manual focus lens on a GlideCam. I believe that's what the video is called. So check that out. Any more questions, guys? Don't be shy. Ask away. Is that it? I'll take one more question. One more. Let's see if anything will happen. Let's see if anyone will ask a question. Do you have smaller gimbals? No, this is the only gimbal I own, but eventually I'm sure I'm going to have a smaller gimbal. I used to have a DJI Osmo, but I sold it. I didn't use it at all. But yeah. And I will eventually make a tutorial video on how I edit. I actually did already on one of my clients, Ingrid Romero. She's a world-renowned fitness model. You can check it out on my YouTube channel. I think it's called How I Edit Videos. Just type in, go on my channel, look up my videos, and just type in Ingrid Romero. You'll see exactly how I edited her video. Alright? And I'll do some more editing tutorials to help you guys get some motivation, inspiration in a fast-paced, good-looking video. Alright? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll address them in my next live stream video. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. And check out my website, capturethemomentum.com. I have a newsletter on there. You sign up to that newsletter. Each week you're going to be getting some secret cinematography tips I give out only on my newsletter. I don't do that anywhere else on the web. Just sign up to my newsletter, capturethemomentum.com. www.capturethemomentum.com. Sign up to my newsletter because I'm giving away some really solid cinematography tips. Alright? And check out my blog on my website as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you like this video, you can either give me a super chat, donate some funds to this channel so I can review more gear and then give it away for free. The more donations I get, the better everything gets, and the more equipment I get. And this channel is not for me, it's for you. So I want you guys to remember that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.